Nikolai's Diary, December 24th, 1942. The cold is so intense that my breath lingers before my lips, like a small ghost, then disappears. I am on watch, leaning against the wall of a collapsed factory. Snow has been falling without pause since nightfall, as if the sky itself wishes to cover what has happened. The moon is pale behind the clouds, a tired lamp. The city is silent, but this silence is not peace. It is the waiting of a weary heart just before it stops. I try not to keep my hands on the metal of the rifle for too long. The moment I touch it, the cold seeps inside me. My gloves are torn, my fingertips ache. The ache feels like something separate from pain now. Hunger has a sound too, a muted murmur echoing deep in the hollow beneath my ribs. I saved my piece of bread from yesterday for a long time, warming it in my palm before biting it. It did not warm. Nothing warms here. I wanted to write this night down, because if I do not, it feels as though it will vanish. Days bleed into one another, dates melt away. But today is different. Once, it was marked in red on the calendar, my mother used to say. At home, the stove would burn, the windows would fog, a hot soup would wait on the table. Now there is snow before me, snow behind me, snow inside me. Even memories freeze. My mother's voice lingers like a thin thread in my ears. I realize I am murmuring a lullaby she used to sing to put me to sleep. My voice is very low. The words stay on my lips. Raising one's voice here is pointless. Silence is a way of surviving. We sense the enemy not by their presence, but by their absence. When there is no explosion, no whistle of a bullet, that is when I shiver. There are still hours before the guard changes. Time is heavy, like my steps. I listen to the faint crunch the snow makes beneath my boots. With each step, I imagine the city's bones breaking. Stalingrad is no longer a body. It is a pile of memories stacked upon one another, unfinished sentences. Door frames still hanging on walls are not entrances to homes, but empty passages opening into the past. For a moment, I think I see movement among the ruins across from me. I raise my rifle and hold my breath. I wait. Waiting is an art we have learned here. Minutes pass. Nothing happens. Then I understand. It is only a scrap of cloth carried by the wind. I do not feel relief. My shoulders simply sink a little more. Hope does not arrive suddenly here. It fades slowly, like a weight being removed. Hunger softens my thoughts. Even my dreams are incomplete. I imagine a piece of bread, a warm tea, but the images never sharpen. It is as if my mind is conserving energy. The trench beside me is empty. My friend Vasily lost the battle to sleep before dawn. Sleep is dangerous in this cold. I touched him a few times, checked his breath. He is alive. Being alive here is not a state. It is an act of resistance. As the night stretches on, the sky grows heavier. The clouds hang low, as if leaning down to listen to the city. For a moment, I think I hear a church bell from very far away. I do not know if it is real. Perhaps my mind wants to anchor this night to something. The red marked day on the calendar becomes a pale line in my thoughts. The pages of my notebook are damp. My pencil freezes. Writing becomes difficult. But as I write, something inside me warms slightly. Words are small fires. I tell myself, I am here. I am on watch. There are nights when we pass without ever seeing the enemy's face. This is one of those nights, the hour when silence is thickest. Silence is sometimes like a blanket, but this blanket is made of ice. At one point, the sky opens slightly. The moon looks through the clouds for a brief moment. Snowflakes glimmer, then fade again. In that instant, I think of how beautiful this city might have been. Beauty can pass even through destruction. The thought does not shame me. Even in the darkest places, a person looks for a fragment of light. My feet are numb. I bend my knees and crouch, then straighten again. Movement is the language of survival. I give myself small instructions. Breathe. Wait. Listen. There is little to hear. The moan of the wind, the distant clink of metal, the sound of snow. All of it is soft. This city whispers now. I do not know what time it is. Time is not a tool here. It is a wall. We do not know what lies beyond it. We only hold this side. I write my mother's name in the notebook. Once more. Writing it makes it real. When it is real, it becomes bearable. Inside me, there is a small image of warmth. The crackle of the stove, the steam rising from soup. I cannot hold the image for long. It freezes. I hear a sound. This time it is real. Not close, but within the city. Like a door slamming. Perhaps the wind. Perhaps a step. I raise my rifle, but I do not aim. I simply remain ready. Being ready sometimes means doing nothing. My heart does not race. Exhaustion slows fear as well. The night retreats slowly. On the horizon, an uncertain gray. This is what morning is called. Morning is not victory. It is continuation. And continuation is everything here. I close my notebook. I write one last sentence. The watch is not over, but I am here. When I finish, I put my hands in my pockets and count my breaths. If these pages ever reach someone's hands, I want them to know this. Cold, hunger, and silence do not make a person smaller, they make them simpler. What remains is very little, but it is real. A name, a breath, a watch. I am Nikolai. On this winter night in Stalingrad, I stand inside the silence.